about this big, man. The British Open, or they call it the Open.
Well, okay. I mean,
He's like,
Tell them it's British show.
yeah, right.
We are the Open. But there's an American.
Yeah.
Kind of like a club pro. He's been around for a while. But he's killing the field. So once you get that much ahead,
He's won 2 tournaments in his career, but he's been in the top 10 in a lot of tournaments. He's a pretty good player.
seems like a journey. He's been around for a while. That's a lot.
He's from the University of Georgia.
They
So
got a good golf team.
I've read about him.
But that course has been fairly benign. They had to win and the rain kicks up.
Those friggin' bunkers are friggin'
Oh, those
ridiculous.
bunkers are hard.
You can't. Well, there's these little things you can't even get down in them.
There's one last night I was watching, or this morning, last night watching, and the ball pitched it, and it went over the green, and there's one of those bunkers, and it did one of these big loops, and it came back and went into that one. It was the craziest shot I'd ever seen in my life. I was like, oh my god, and right up against the face, because their bunkers over there, they're like platforms, they're just straight down, and then there's rocks on the side.
What gets me about the course is you stand on the tee, and they show you what the target line is, and you're looking out there. It looks like a friggin' field. You don't even see a fairway. It's like it's like ridiculous.
I'm not a fan of those kind of courses.
Well, that's the original. That's where they used to play golf.
Well, nothing else would work there.
There's a lots of Hatchie Club down in Jupiter who's built that way.
Well, Larry used to have a membership at Bears Club. It's one of those things for. I was like, yeah, let's go play this one.
no, but I'm really grateful.
These bunkers, man. Equal, small crowd, let's get right there. People go. That's the loudest I've ever heard.
Hi, guys.
Here we go.
Good morning. Waiting for the slide, Jude. Jude, I'm waiting for the slide.
Okay, you have to say something about the singing.
Yes, I was going to. I was waiting for the slide. You'll notice that in the white print with the red background, congregation sings. That's so there's no question when we'd like you to join us in singing. So congregation sings. Please stand and join us in singing our gathering song, My Soul is Welcome Here. 1, 2, 4.
Right place. turn the air conditioning down 1 more degree. And there's shawls in the back. Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Stuart. Just want to say the strange people you see here, they're my family members. Yay! My 2 daughters, my 2 oldest daughters, of course, Sophia, as always, is in the video room, and my son-in-law and my grandson, and my other 2 grandkids are in the classroom, so you'll see them when the kids come in. I'm hoping they'll want to come in and to stop playing with the toys. So welcome to everybody who is in the sanctuary and everybody who is online this morning. We are glad you are here. Let's see who's watching on Facebook. Okay, I can do this. Okay. All right, hold on. Doreen, can you see who's on?
You know what? My phone isn't even up here.
What's that? I think I'm there. I'm getting there. Bear with me. How much time you got? All right, Cheryl from Connecticut, our meditation teacher, our meditation facilitator. You'll hear more about that later. Good morning, Cheryl, and good morning, Ellen up the Grove. Hey, good morning, Ellen. Good to see you. We have Taryn is bilocating apparently, although she doesn't have a phone in her hand. And Allison and Jill. Allison and Jill, where are you? Where are you on the planet? And let's see. There were a couple other people that I saw, but now they decided to leave, apparently. And good morning to you all. We're glad you all are here. As always with us, we have the Joyful Noise Band and Choir, and our special music today features Mike Taylor. I want to say, for those that I know are normally on YouTube, and that would be Lana and Jessica and Phil and Pam and Alan, and glad you're here today, if indeed you are. And it's time now for welcome packets. If you're a first-timer present in the sanctuary and you feel comfortable, please raise your hand so we can see you and give you a welcome packet. Anybody here today for the first time who would like to raise their hand for a welcome packet? All right. If you're here for the first time and just have not raised your hand, you can take a welcome packet on the way out. And for everybody else, if you'd like to get a welcome packet to maybe share with a friend or do some evangelizing out there in the wide world, please take a welcome packet or 2 to do just that. For those that are online, if you would like us to send you a welcome packet, please email admin@unityofstuart.org. And so maybe this is a good time to announce that our beloved May, my beloved May, I don't know if she's beloved to you, but she's beloved to me. She is leaving her service here at Unity of Stuart because she has needed to get a full-time job. And so we are in the process of hiring Eva Taylor. She was at the welcome podium this morning, and you'll hear a little bit more about that as we move through the weeks. May is still here on off hours and on Sundays, and she'll be training Eva. So as I said, you'll be hearing more about that in the coming weeks. There are some snacks in the kitchen. I saw them with my own eyes. And if you would like to join in community after service to have a snack and a cup of coffee, we invite you to do that. And if you would like to bring snacks once a month, or you would like to serve in hospitality, because let me just tell you what's going to happen with hospitality before too terribly long, is that what we're going to do is going to be offering coffee and cookies, and that's pretty much it. And unless somebody else steps up to take the lead on a hospitality team. So if that's you, thank you. If it scares you, it still might be you. And so we invite you just to know that. And so if you'd like to bring something on a Sunday that's not a potluck Sunday, you can see May about that. Most importantly, we'd like you all to know that Unity of Stuart is a welcoming, affirming, positive path of spirituality. Everybody is welcome here. Not only are you welcome, and you are honored. You honor us with your presence. So thank you, everybody, for being here. We do indeed, as always, have prayer chaplains, and our prayer chaplain on duty today is Marlis. Oh, well, Amy's a backup, but Marlis is here and her duty as prayer chaplain. And what that looks like is that if you have a prayer need or an intention and you would like support in prayer around that, Marlis will be in the sanctuary after service, and she will be honored to pray with you and to hold your prayer in the highest confidence. If you'd like to send in a prayer, those of you online or anybody at any time, prayer@unityofstuart.org, and also the Silent Unity prayer line. What I did just find out, has anybody called the Silent Unity prayer line after midnight and before 6 a.m. in the morning? I didn't even know this was happening until very recently. It's a recorded call between 12 and 6. They're trying to work back. They've had some staffing issues. So if you call between 12 at night and 6 in the morning, you'll get a recorded prayer that changes every day, I do believe. And there are still live people in those other hours, and also all the prayers that when you call in and get the recorded prayer, they all go into the bin where they pray. They still have the 24-hour prayer vigil at Silent Unity. So that's that. One more gratitude is that I came in on Thursday and took a load of backpacks and accessories and supplies over to the police station in Stuart, and I was so happy. I had to make like 6 trips. I did it by myself because you know what? It's hard to ask for help sometimes. And so I took about 6 trips in there, and they were very grateful. And so I want to thank everybody who donated to that backpack drive. Thank you very much. There's Cheryl, and that's your reminder that there's a Tuesday meditation live on Facebook at 10 a.m. Oh, who's received the survey? Who has answered the survey? All right, so I sent it. Did I send it? Yeah, it was in this past week's newsletter. And what I want you to know about this survey is I'll be sending it one more time for those who haven't gotten it yet. We're taking responses until July 31st. And if the life of Unity of Stuart has meaning for you, and you have things that you'd like to see happen here, or you just want to give us some appreciation, whatever it is, fill out the survey. It takes maybe 5 minutes, unless you write a long paragraph in other. And if you're online and you say, what survey? You can email me at revjudedenning@gmail.com, and I will be happy to send you a link. Anybody sitting in here as well.
And it's anonymous.
Thank you, Rini. And it is anonymous. It has been anonymous from the beginning. I just forgot to tell everybody. All right, let's take a deep breath. So here we are this morning in spiritual community. And in that deep breath, I invite us to remember that this community offers a roadmap for spiritual well-being, and indeed that's what we'll talk about today. So I invite you to join me in affirming spiritual well-being for everyone. I am well in mind, body, and spirit. I am well in mind, body, and spirit. And as I focus on wellness, whether mental, physical, or spiritual, I become healthier in every area of my life. As I focus on wellness, whether mental, physical, or spiritual, I become healthier in every area of my life. Affirmations of truth promote my mental well-being. I affirm, I am wise with the wisdom of spirit. I am guided by the light of spirit. I am one with divine mind. I am well. To care for my physical body, I get adequate rest, eat healthy food, and keep my body moving with vigor and enthusiasm. My actions are expressions of faith. I am one with divine life. I am strong and well. Prayer and meditation nurture my spiritual health. In the silence, I listen for instruction and guidance. I experience the total well-being that flows from God's presence in, through, and as me. I am well in mind, body, and spirit. And from Luke, he said to her, daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. And so let's take a deep breath, knowing that laughter is also good. And settle into this now moment, into our spiritual well-being, our mental well-being, and our physical well-being. Let us be open, receptive, and responsive to this charge. I am well in mind, body, and spirit. And so it is. Amen. And as we do, let us affirm this affirmation together. I am well in mind, body, and spirit. And let's take that deep breath, anchoring in as best we can this affirmation. As we affirm one more time together. I am well in mind, body, and spirit. And we have a new meditation song this morning for us all, and that is Chuck Chase's original, Be Still. And I invite us into a conscious connection with our breath. And if you desire to, if you are able, I invite you to take 3 deep breaths as deeply as you are able. Becoming present to your physical body. Dropping your shoulders. Relaxing anything in your body that is holding tension. Becoming open, receptive, and responsive to the Spirit of the infinite divine moving in, through, and as you. And let us be here now, in this moment, right where our feet are. And as we continue to breathe as we have been, we just continue to let go. Let go of tension in the body, all the activity of the morning. Let go of all the experiences of the past week. Let go of any judgments, any concerns, any self-doubt, of any circumstance that seems too great. Breathe. Release. Turn it over to Spirit. I'm going to bring us back a little bit to the daily word with these affirmations. I am wise with the wisdom of Spirit. I am guided by the light of God. I am one with divine mind. I am well. I experience total well-being right here and right now. I am well in body, mind, and spirit. In the quiet. I am well in mind, body, and spirit. And as we know this truth for ourselves, I invite you to bring into your awareness all of those who are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stuart, and all of those that are in our minds and hearts this morning. Any situation, anything at all, I'd like to speak that name or situation out into this holy space. I invite you to do that now. And releasing it all, releasing it all into the care and keeping of the One. Please join me in praying this in the name, in the nature, and the light, and the love of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. Let's sing about it.
One, two.
And as Mike is finding his way over to the microphone to lead our special music, I want to introduce Ocean as the newest member of the choir, along with Rose, who's coming back to the choir. All right, thank you.
everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I'll finally learn to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will once more. Just as I did back then, I'm gonna rise again and bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new.
Thank you, Joyful Noise. Am I on? Yeah, I am. Hello. Good to see y'all. Let's let the choir get settled. My son-in-law, who's sitting right in this room, by the name of Eric. You know how, like, when you're in church or maybe at a funeral, and you something makes you laugh, and you really can't get a hold of yourself? He almost did that to me this morning. So right before church starts, he sends this meme to all of us, and it says, "If you want to know how the week is going, I just took a pillowcase out of the dryer, put it over my head thinking it was a t-shirt to wear to bed, spent 15 seconds inside it searching for the neck hole, and then mumbled, 'What is this, pants?'" Ever feel like that? I do. Thank you, Eric. You almost made me leave the room so I could gather myself. All right. Another story. Young couple moves into a neighborhood, a new neighborhood for them, obviously. They're sitting in their breakfast nook next morning while they're eating breakfast. And a young woman sees her neighbor hanging laundry out on the line. And she's thinking, and says to her husband, "This laundry isn't very clean. She probably doesn't know how to wash things correctly. Maybe she needs better laundry soap." And her husband looks on, remains quiet. And the same thing happens every day. Every time the neighbor puts out laundry on the line, the young woman makes the same comments. A month goes by, and she's looking out the window one morning, and she's surprised to see nice, clean, bright wash on the line, and says to her husband, look, she's finally learned how to do laundry. I wonder who taught her. And the husband replies, well, I got up early this morning and washed our windows. Bada boom. And so it is with life. What we see depends on the clarity of our vision. What we see depends on how we hold life and how we hold ourselves and how we hold the rest of humanity. The rest of humanity depends on the eyes that we see with. This is what we do here at Unity of Stuart, if you don't know. We develop these tools to bring brighter clarity to our own eyes. We develop these tools to use along the spiritual journey. Tools that help us become more aware. You might say we're going under the proverbial, the metaphorical sink, getting out the Windex and cleaning up our own vision. It's our spiritual development. So I have to think that anybody within the sound of my voice is interested in spiritual development, right? Interested, perhaps like I am, in becoming a better human in the world, to listen to the spiritual tools, to read about the spiritual tools, to listen to the music about spiritual tools, and incorporate them into our lives. And Unity, our greater movement, has a great roadmap for this, to go about making the choices that lead us to that life that we say we want, that life of peace, that life of alignment with spirit, that life of compassion for others in the world. It's our work to make those choices to be that on the planet. So our basic 5 principles, I'm not going to spend too much time on the 5 principles, but I want to go over them with you. If you don't know, Unity has 5 basic principles, and these principles are concerned with what God is, what human beings are, how the two relate, how prayer works, and how we are called to live in our precious world, So putting these principles into practice is essential for our spiritual well-being. So, there's no slide for this. I'm just going to tell you what the spiritual principles are, the 5 Unity basic principles. God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. There's no other enduring power. It's only God that is present and powerful every minute, every moment, in every atom of every day. And for what we are made in the image and likeness of God. We are made in the image of light and the likeness of love. We are created in that image. The Spirit of God lives in and through and as each one of us. And because we are made in the image and likeness, we are all, every single one of us, inherently good. No matter what we have done in our lives, we are inherently good. And our 4th principle, our 3rd principle is we create our life experiences by our way of thinking. Now, when I teach this principle, I don't want you to think that, oh, I thought this disease into reality, or I thought this breakup into reality, or whatever it is you might be thinking. That's not what this is about. What it is about is that we have circumstances in our lives that happen. We have challenges that happen. And what is ours to do is use our thinking to get to peace about those challenges, to use the spiritual tools that we learn and that we know to get to a place of peace and alignment with spirit. That's number 3. Number 4, there's power in affirmative prayer, which increases our connection to God. This affirmative prayer is simply about we don't throw ourselves on the floor begging and pleading. I mean, I've done it. You probably have too. And our co-founders say that the most efficient way to pray is to align ourselves with that which we call God. and only speak the words that God, the idea of God, would speak. Hence affirmations, I am well, I am strong, I am prosperous, right? Those become prayers. And yes, all of us go back to those beseeching prayers. All of us do that. And we can do that, and let us not make that our only way of praying. Let us level up our prayer life. And our fifth basic unity principle is knowledge of these principles is not enough. We must live them. We must practice them, even when it's hard, even when we think we can't. We are called to practice these principles. So every unity church in our movement, so dogma is something that the church tells you to believe, right? And if you don't believe the dogma, you can be cast out, right? And you become persona non grata if you don't believe the dogma. So these 5 basic unity principles, I would say that they're dogma light, right? Every church teaches them. This is the way that I live my life. And if you don't believe them, we still love you. Still come to church. It's all good. It's all good. Everybody has, in and around all this, I bet you everybody in this room has some sort of personal theology that might go along with unity teachings. And here at Unity, we are fine with that. I encourage that. It's a personal theology that we get to create. We get to create our relationship with Source. And again, it's all good. So, every church has these 5 basic unity principles, and many churches in our movement also have core values. These are the values that we live by. And for each church, these values could be different, similar in a lot of ways, but also different. So I looked this up 7 years ago, I think it was September of 2016. I had been here serving Unity of Stuart for just a little bit over a year. And we had our first team meeting around core values, to set core values. And so what we did, we came together and we crafted core values for Unity of Stuart. Anybody who wanted to come was invited to this shindig, and we all got together. So, core values. So let me say a little bit about value statements. They're the core beliefs of a community. They identify the parameters in which decisions and actions will be taken. They set direction for ethics and behavior in the community, and they share the higher call or goal of the community. So it's a common bond for the purpose of a community. So a strong, vibrant community has these common bonds, these common values. So when our group got together, we asked that one simple question: what are the values of Unity of Stuart? And everybody called them out, and we wrote them on flip chart. And we easily had over 36 words. And then we just kept folding them into each other, and folding and asking for permission. Is this okay? Is this okay? Does this make sense? And we kept saying that until we got to 5 core values. And here they are. We are spirit-led. Love is a core value. Transformation, inclusivity, and abundance are our core values. I'm going to leave them up there for a little while, I think. I will. So, let's talk about spirit-led. Oh, but first, a story. A little child was lost in the wood for several days, and eventually a member of the search team discovered her sitting under a tree, waiting to be found. And the search team member said, "Weren't you afraid?" And the child said, "No, I wasn't afraid, because I know God is here." And he said, "How do you know that?" And she said, "Because I am here." God is here right now in each and every one of us. We are the hands and feet of God. And when we get that, and when we allow that to drop into the very foundation of our being, we are always spirit-led. Right? Don't we want to be spirit-led in all things? When I think of knowing that God is always here, I think about peace. I think about being at peace in all things, not pushing anything away, not grasping at anything. This might be familiar to some Buddhist aficionados in the room. Not pushing anything away, not grasping at anything, and knowing that I can tap into divine guidance at any time. And I know that if I want that to be my present, my constant reality, I have to do the work. I have to practice developing my relationship with the divine. So, if we want to be Spirit-led, we've got to desire it so much so that we take the time, we spend the energy, and we cultivate that divine relationship. Because if we don't do that, I know you've done it, we fall out of practice. We forget what's important to us. So we have to desire it enough. So a relationship with Spirit, a relationship with that which we call God, is not just about coming to church on Sundays. That's a great thing to do. It's about doing the things we learn here, putting them into practice in the world. It's about daily prayer and meditation, and about remembering to turn to Spirit in all things, to be Spirit-led. So how do we as individuals live this value? Now, let me interrupt myself to tell you that we have a set of core values, and how the leadership of Unity of Stuart uses those core values, and how we encourage our members to use those core values. I'm not going to talk about how Unity of Stuart uses them for this purpose, and I don't want to take too much time. I'm going to just talk about how we as individuals use our core values, if that resonates with you. So, Spirit-led. So the affirmation that we all agreed on for this value is, I live from my oneness in God and turn to Spirit for guidance. So how do we do that? How do we do that? So this is what we came up with. We pray and meditate daily to be aware of spiritual essence, our own spiritual essence. We remember the truth that there is one presence and one power in my life and in the universe living as me. And we attend services and classes and connections, and we come together to lift each other up and to, it's really important to have social relationships, especially as we age, right? It gets more difficult to make friends, and it gets more difficult to do that. Well, it's more difficult for some people, but not for others. And it gets more difficult for a lot of us to keep going with social, with fun and with social connections. And that's really important for our spiritual well-being. So, would you like to affirm this core value? Well, I'll just invite you to do it if it resonates with you, and if not, that's all good as well. Together. I live from my oneness in God and turn to Spirit for guidance. And so, how does that feel? How would that feel if you knew you did it all the time, right? Living from that place of faith. And then we have our next core value, which is love. I live, move, and have my being in the divine energy of love. That great writer, Anonymous, says this. Dear human, you've got it all wrong. You didn't come here to master unconditional love. That is where you come from and where you'll return. You came here to learn personal love. Universal love, messy love, sweaty love, crazy love, broken love, whole love. All of it is infused with divinity. Lived through the grace of stumbling, demonstrated through the beauty of messing up in our humanity. Often. You didn't come here to be perfect. You already are. You came here to be gorgeously human, flawed and fabulous, and then rise into remembering who you truly are. So again, borrowed with gratitude from Anonymous. So how do we, as individuals, live this value of love in our lives? We look for the good in every person, every situation, and every circumstance. Take a deep breath on that. Every person? Every circumstance? Look for the good? Yes, there's always something. Every problem has a gift for us in its hand. Every challenging person, every experience has a gift for us in its hand. And we love by serving each other, by serving members of our family, by serving in our workplaces, by serving in our churches, and in a larger spiritual community by sharing our time, our talents, and our treasures. So if this resonates, I invite you to join me in this affirmation together. I live, move, and have my being in the divine energy of love. Our third core value, I believe in the spiritual transformation of everyone. All right, so what's spiritual transformation, right? Does that mean we can walk on water? Does that mean we can heal the sick, raise the dead? I haven't been able to do that, and I feel like I have been spiritually transforming for many years. Maybe you have too. Spiritual transformation is moving from, why does this always happen to me, to, I can control my thoughts and my life, to, it's not me, but God that does the work, to, I am one in God. I can do all things with and through that one power. That's spiritual transformation, when we work our way up that ladder or down that line to that deep foundational faith of I and God are one. And for me, spiritual transformation also means not believing everything I think. Right? Sometimes we have thoughts. We don't know whether they're true or not. We just have this, we just, spout it off. And because it feels true to us, or we heard somebody else say it, we act, and we live, we say it as if it's true. So spiritual transformation is about, for me, is about asking myself questions. What am I feeling here? What is really going on here? I know this person is here. This experience is here for my learning and my growth. What can I learn here, and how can I grow through this? You ever hear of Sue Monk Kidd? She writes spiritual books, memoirs mostly, right? She wrote a book called When the Heart Waits. And she talked about a time when she faced a crisis in her life and some of the questions that she asked. Maybe these can be some of our questions too. She writes, is it possible, I asked myself, that I am being summoned from some deep and holy place within? Am I being asked to enter a new passage in a spiritual life? The journey from false self to true self. Am I being asked to dismantle old masks and patterns and unfold a deeper, more authentic self, the one God created me to be? Am I being compelled to disturb my inner universe in quest of that undiscovered being who clamors from within? So what are your questions? Think about what your questions might be. Even if right now you are not in a mighty crisis of spirit, you may still have questions about your life, about where you're going. I've been having this ongoing conversation since my family is here, and every time, lots of times, my son-in-law, my daughter, my other daughter will say, when are you going to retire? What are you going to do? Yeah, no. When are you going to retire? What are you going to do with your life? Where are you going to live? Where are you going to move? Where should we buy a house? What's going on? And so I'm in this place of asking myself those questions. I'm not going anywhere for a while. Don't anybody panic? Not going, or don't anybody rejoice? I'm not going anywhere for a while. And yet, I'll be 66 in September, and it's time to start thinking about that. Ask myself some questions about how I want my life to be in retirement. So you may need to ask yourselves some of those questions as well. We need to ask the questions, even if the answers don't come instantly. It's the questioning that I feel is the most important for our spiritual transformation. So, how do we as individuals live this value? We have to know that we are the hands and feet of God. For a moment, I forgot the value, spiritual transformation. We know that we are the hands and feet of God. We know that divine is always made manifest in us. We know that we can tap into that divine guidance in every area of our lives. And we practice prayer and meditation, sitting in the silence, asking questions, and waiting upon God for the answers. Would you affirm with me together? I believe in the spiritual transformation of everyone. And let's say that again and tag it to the end, including myself. I believe in the spiritual transformation of everyone, including myself. And here we go to the next core value. This one is inclusivity. I acknowledge the humanity and divinity in everyone with an open mind and heart. So for me, the way that I need to practice acknowledging the humanity and the divinity and the equality of everyone with an open heart and mind is to interrogate my thoughts, right? If I see somebody that I would judge, my thought is, oh, why are you judging? What's going on there? Is it because somebody doesn't dress the way you like? Is it because somebody doesn't look the way you like, or somebody doesn't speak the way I like, right? And I ask myself those questions, and then A, give myself a break, and then B, bless that person or situation. Activate my compassion for all beings. Here's a compassion exercise. Spend 5 minutes at the beginning of each day remembering we all want the same thing. Every single human being on the planet wants to be loved and safe and fed and cared for. We all want the same thing. We are all connected. We're only different on the outer. We are the same at the inner. So when that happens, spend 5 minutes valuing yourself, maybe cherishing yourself, and then valuing and cherishing another person that you may have judged. Let go of those judgments. And during the day, extend that attitude to everyone you meet. We are all the same. We are all the same. On Friday, Eric and Taryn and I and May and Zeke, who were in the kids' room, went to the Sailfish Splash Park. It was fun. It was very fun. And at one point, we were in the lazy river, which we didn't have a tube most of the time, and so we were walking the lazy river, and Taryn and I, with the kids on the tube. And there was, but this is another part, but let's pretend it's in the lazy river, because I started there. And so at some points in the area, they have water shooters. They're not guns, they're just like tubes that they can aim and spray at you. So I'm there, and my kids say I'll talk to anybody, right? I'll connect with anybody. So there was a little boy, couldn't have been more than 7 or 8, and he was like, shooting people. So I stopped in front of him and I say, and he was like, he had no idea what to do. He looked behind himself. She's talking to somebody else. She can't be standing there wanting me to shoot her with the water. I'm saying, yeah. And he finally did, but I could tell he was so awkward. I could tell her, and I said, he didn't want any part of me. Right? And that's what I try to do in my life, is to notice people, to look in people's eyes, so that we all want to be seen, right? And I know kiddos, sometimes, I remember when I was a kid, I didn't feel like anybody saw me. I felt like I was looked over a lot. And so that's one of my goals in life, for connection and acknowledging the humanity and divinity in every people, is to see people, and to see young ones especially. So extend that attitude to everyone in your life. Stay in the practice no matter what happens. Activate compassion with every judgment. Try to put compassion as the tag to that when you notice it. And remember this beautiful sentiment by Ram Dass. We are all just walking each other home. We are all going to end up in the same place. We're all just walking each other home. So how do we live this value? We acknowledge the oneness in everyone. We acknowledge the divine essence in everyone, surrendering judgment and embracing compassion. And we go places, we attend events and classes to increase our understanding of people that are not like us. It's like to stop living in the bubble and move out of that box, mixing metaphors, move out of that box to where you're uncomfortable, especially for us white people. We are so comfortable in our box, right? We have that white privilege that everything is ordered for us. So what I call myself to do and what I invite you to do is step out of your box and go spend time with people that don't look like you or sound like you. Let's affirm this, if you would, together. I acknowledge the humanity and divinity in everyone with an open mind and open heart. And we have our final core value, abundance. And this is, I know that God is my source, and I celebrate unlimited possibilities present in every moment. So when I think about abundance, when I was a baby, new thought person, I used to think abundance was about gathering things, right? Gathering, I want this car, I want these clothes, I want this, whatever. It's gathering things. And as I moved on in my spiritual transformation, as I said, it began to be peace. And so how do we get peace? That's my core value, is peace. Seek first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. Of course, this is my peace cry. In anything, in everything, seek first my own relationship with Spirit. Seek first the kingdom, of course. The kingdom of heaven is right here and right now, we are taught. It's not some far out place. So seek the kingdom of heaven within me, and I will be at peace. And all the things, I will have everything I need and more. So that's from the Sermon on the Mount. And Jesus defines the most important part of the spiritual principles. We are called to create, choice by choice, the higher spiritual consciousness that Jesus is talking about when he says, I am one with the Father. The Father and I are one. That's the highest spiritual consciousness, and we are called to practice that. That's the kingdom of heaven. Too often we feel that our human problems have to be solved before we can do that. Oh, when this happens, then I'll be able to meditate. When I'm not so anxious, I'll be able to meditate. Right? This causes us to live in that fear and anxiety. It's only by the committing to the spiritual, to remembering who we truly are, that we can have true spiritual transformation, and we can make choices out of love and compassion. Then we can fully and completely enjoy our human experience. Our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, had a covenant when they started this unity movement. And they said this. Did we affirm that affirmation? Okay, let's do that together. I know that God is my source, and I celebrate unlimited possibilities present in every moment. All right. We, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, husband and wife, hereby dedicate ourselves, our time, our money, all we have, and all we expect to have to the Spirit of truth, and through it to the Society of Silent Unity. It being understood and agreed that the said Spirit of truth, God, of course, shall render unto us an equivalent for this dedication in peace of mind, health of body, wisdom, understanding, love, life, and an abundant supply of all things necessary to meet every want without making any of these things the object of our existence. And they closed it with, in the presence of the conscious mind of Christ Jesus, the 7th day of December AD 1892. So how do we live this? How do we live this in our lives? I invite us to speak of only what is possible. Don't wallow in what we might call our failures. Speak of what is possible. God help anybody who ever says in front of me, well, you know me, I have such bad luck. This always happens to me. Never want to say that to me, right? With my luck, right? If you want to talk about luck, affirm luck. Affirm fortune. Affirm possibility. Everything is possible with Spirit. And so we give generously of our time, talent, and treasure. We take action to realize our divine potential. And we give where we are spiritually fed. And we give to other charities that are meaningful to us. This doesn't have to, and I know in the Bible it says the person that gives all their money, whatever, away is the most blessed. I'm a proponent of giving in love and in joy. If you can give everything away in joy and enthusiasm and love, you go for it. I'm behind you. And if you can, you give what you can. You give what makes sense to Unity of Stuart, to other charities. My favorite, I love giving to other charities outside of Unity. And I get such joy and such pleasure out of sending $10. Because I can send $10 to 10 charities if I want. And that would be fairly easy for me. And I know that other people, if they do the same, those charities would be swimming in money. So I add what I can for that. I want to affirm that affirmation one more time. Together. I know that God is my source, and I celebrate unlimited possibilities present in every moment. I want to close with one more story. A nurse on the pediatric ward, before listening to the little ones' chests, would plug the stethoscope into their ears and let them listen to their own heart. Their eyes would always light up with awe, but she never got a response equal to 4-year-old David's comment. Gently, she tucked the stethoscope into his ears and placed the disc over his heart. "Listen," she said. "What do you suppose that is?" And he drew his eyebrows together in a puzzled line and looked up as if lost in the mystery of the strange tap, tap, tapping deep in his chest. Then his face broke out in a wondrous grin and he said, "Is that God knocking?" Yes! Yes, it is. Let our heartbeats remind us. I invite you to put your hand on your heart and feel your heartbeat and let it be a reminder that God is knocking. The divine is knocking, telling you to get on with your life, to get on from the foundation of who you are at depth, to do the work in your life that leads to your spiritual well-being and the spiritual well-being of our planet. I affirm these truths for each and every one of us. Namaste. Oh, yeah. Okay, and it's time for our celebration of abundance, otherwise known as our love offering. For those of you online, here are the ways that you can donate to Unity of Stuart, and Sophia is putting those links in the comments or has put them in already. And so that's all the ways that you contribute to the work that we do here. And it is with deep gratitude that I thank you for your love offerings, your tithes, and your gifts. Thank you to our consistent givers. I hope we will all feel the impact of the gifts that you give to Unity of Stuart. And as we are doing that, let us affirm our prosperity prayer and our love offering blessing directly after, together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of Unity of Stuart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And our love offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. Let's sing our new song.
1, 2, 3.
Situation
Jerry. I turn it off because of the singing, you know. All right, so here's what's coming. Here's what's happening with Family Promise. Thank you. All the meals are covered. I don't know if we covered them all, but we did. All the meals are covered. The bed races that we took part in last year for the first time is coming up in October, and we are beginning, a sign-up sheet is out there if you'd like to get involved with the bed races. You can also talk to Roberta about what that means, and you can also mark on your calendar that there's a bed races meeting here on August 6th after service. So come and join us for all of that. One more thing. Something else, Roberta? Landscaping. I missed landscaping. It says it right here. So, July 29th, where is the Family Center, Roberta? Just a general. On Martin Luther King, there is a Family Center for Family Promise. If you don't know what Family Promise is, it's an organization that comprised of churches that helps house and feed homeless families. So they have a family center, and they have gotten some landscaping, some shrubs and things that they need put in the ground. So if you have some time on July 29th, they're doing it very early. They're starting at 7 o'clock over there to try to beat the heat. And Roberta is willing to meet anybody here at 6:45 and take you over there. So please see Roberta if you have that. There are sign-up sheets out in the foyer. Anything else? Okay, very good. Finally, so we have prayer chaplains. You hear me talk about the prayer chaplains every week. What you might not know, especially if you're not a member, is our prayer chaplains call every member once a month to check in to see if they want prayer. Some of us don't pick up the phone. I rarely pick up the phone because I'm always doing something or taking a nap after the doing of the something. And they will leave a voicemail on your phone. So if you are not a member and you would like a monthly prayer chaplain call, you can sign up on the information table. And for those of you who are online, same here, no matter where you live, you can email our prayer chaplain coordinator, that's Amy Neff, at so live it without the E, Amy at msn.com. So we invite you to do that. And I'll be announcing that for the next few weeks. All right. I wonder if we have kiddos out there. Scott, we got kiddos? They are very quiet. We ready? Let's stand as we sing our kiddos in. Hi, come on up. That's right. This is Anne or Anna? Annie and Abby. And this is Azaria. And this is my granddaughter May and my grandson Zeke. And they're all visiting here for a little while. All right. All right, how's it going?
Good.
Yes. Good. Zeke, did you want to share anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to talk right into here. Speak.
Zeke.
Zeke, this is Zeke.
Yeah.
Did you have fun with the kids? What did you play?
I played trucks.
Trucks. You played trucks?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, thank you. Does anybody else want to share anything? What do you got there, Lucky? Oh, wow. Do you want me to help you? Okay, let's all help, shall we? I think it's upside down. Oh, sorry, hold on. Hold on a second. Is it upside down? Yeah. Here's Aria. Anyway? Okay, let's, picture, Alex. Picture. All right. Lucky, do you want to tell us about that? All right, can you hold it with one hand and hold the mic with the other? There you go.
So we made what we're grateful for from the thing.
Hold it a little closer, sweetie.
Sorry. What we're grateful for on the paper, and me, Isabel, and Nova did it. So
All right. What they're grateful for. You got that? This is a whole banner of what they're grateful for. And then we're going to hang that up in the, yeah, all right. Let's give it to Miss Jen and see what, yeah.
To elaborate on the lesson, when I first rolled out this piece of paper, they were like, "Oh, how big can we write? Can we write really big?" They felt that it was a large piece of paper to list what they're grateful for. By the end, I had to say, "Girls, put the markers away," because once you get rolling and you get in that habit and that thought of gratitude, it's amazing how the list never ends.
All right.
So that was kind of our lesson.
All right. Let us stand as we bless our kiddos. And please hold our kiddos in your prayer. And I'm going to cry, but this is me. Sit down if you would. Taryn and Eric and my grandkids are moving to Germany next week. And they'll be there for at least 12 months, maybe 14 months. I will visit them, and would you just please add them in your prayers for smooth transition and smooth flight, smooth landing, happy kids, and a place to live, quite frankly, because they're looking for a place to live in Germany. Thank you. If you would hold that in your heart, I'd be eternally grateful. All right. Let us close with the prayer for protection and the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. Let's sing about it.
Don.